Hey folks, this is Sam Roberts.
Hey, this is Kim Mitchell.
This is Hannah Georges.
This is Matt Lee.
This is Derry Graham from Honeymoon Suite, and you are listening to...
You're listening to...
And you're listening to
The Hulk Caesar Show.
Welcome to the Hulk Caesar Show. I am your host, Hulk Caesar. Not with us tonight is our illustrious co-host, Emily Malloy. We sent her up to space on the blue horizon, and she hasn't yet come back, so hopefully she'll be back next week. But I am, of course, joined by my co-host, Deuces Wild, Dicky Strickland. Dicky, what's happening?
This is it, sir.
I put a red herring nickname on your script.
I noticed.
And then I read the real one. How do you like that?
That's pretty cool.
Tonight's guest is the owner of Posie Row & Co., a cherished boutique located at 210 Duckworth Street in downtown St. John's, Newfoundland. Established in 1995, it offers a curated selection of local and global goods, including textiles, jewelries, houseware, and gifts, housed in a beautifully restored heritage building. The store expanded in 2017 to include Posie Row & Co., providing space for independent local businesses and fostering a community hub for the arts community's best and brightest, including me and Dicky and Emily up here. It's our friend from downstairs, Jane Manuel. Welcome to the Hulk Caesar Show.
Glad to be here.
We're going to chat with Jane about Posie Row's 30th anniversary, downtown life, and St. John's strong entrepreneurship community. A little later on, we'll be joined by musical guest Liam Peacock, whose brand new EP, A Face on a Paper Bag, is available now on Bandcamp and streaming. Let's get to it.
Jane, thanks for being here.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
That's awesome. 30 years of Posie Row. Congratulations. That's no easy feat. Keeping a business open for 30 days unless you're a pizza place in St. John's is no easy feat. Why don't you give us a little background on the history of the shop?
Sure. Well, I can't take nearly all the credit. I just bought the business a couple of years ago from the original owner, Anita Carroll, though I'd worked for her for many years. So it was a very natural transition. But Anita started the business when she was in her early 30s, I think. She had a baby. She was almost ready to have her second baby, an Irish twin of sorts, if you know the term. And the business that was operating in what's now the Posie Row space was called Amos and Andy's. Anyone who's been around for longer than me might remember that. It was a bit of a world goods store.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, like chunky Nepalese knitted sweaters, chimeneas when they were in style, all that kind of stuff. There's still a few holdovers from that time that you can find in Posie Row, worry dolls, hacky sacks.
Nice.
All
Hacky
that
sacks,
kind
of course.
stuff.
I was a big hack guy.
Yeah, me too in high school. And when Anita bought the business, she was sort of... she was around in the days when you could, I guess, go to the bank and somebody could say, I have a good feeling about you. You have no money, but I think you can make this work.
What a time.
Yeah.
And really not like now. And so she was able to purchase the building to run the business downstairs. She raised her kids upstairs, lived above the shop. And then somewhere along the way, I came along looking for a summer job. I was home from university. I was living in Halifax. And
Did you go to Dell?
I did go to Dell. Yeah. And I came to work for Anita. And then I came back the next summer and I moved home. And things just seemed to work like I didn't really plan this path at all. But it seemed to work as I was starting a family and wanting to settle in. And Anita at the time had teenagers, and her husband was moving to the Middle East for work. She went along with him and needed somebody to run the shop. And it just sort of evolved into a really natural fit where when I was having children myself and wanting the flexibility that business ownership or managership can offer, it worked beautifully. And then finally, when Anita was ready to sell the business, that was also a really natural transition. I think a lot of people don't realize that the business has changed hands because it just felt so natural to us. We
Totally.
didn't really say much about it.
Business as usual.
And you have kids now, I guess?
Yeah.
Cool. How many?
Two girls. They're 8 and 11.
Great.
Yeah.
Did you ever live upstairs?
I apartment sat for Anita at one point, but no, I never did live up there. However, it's currently one staff member and 2 former staff members of Posie Row.
Amazing.
Cool.
Well, we're sitting right here above Posie Row in our studio, and it's always buzzing with energy below. What do you think kept people coming back in all these years?
A number of things. I think, we've always tried to find and fill the store with unusual things that you can't find everywhere. that people want for a price that people want. I tend to go for the really maximalist aesthetic. I guess you could call that, like clutter or overwhelm maybe, but I really like to fill the store with, sort of a visual feast. I like the idea of it feeling like a bit of a treasure hunt when people come through the door, and I think people feel that way about it. So they like to come frequently. I think we've also reached the stage where we have generational customers.
Oh, for sure.
Like kids who've grown up with the business because their mom shopped there and now they shop there. And that was the case with me. I actually got my high school grad dress at Posie Row when I was a grungy teenager.
I like the greeting cards and stuff. They're cool.
Oh yeah, I like to go for the kind of cheeky, little saucy.
Yeah, I like it. What are some of the challenges of running a business in downtown?
There are many. There's an unpredictability to it. You never know how things are going to unfold, and you can only control what's inside your four walls. You really have no control over the weather or the environment around you outside of your own space. So that presents challenges. If the downtown is on an upswing or a downturn, that has an effect, and it's not really something that we can control. Our busiest month of the year by a lot is December. And if we have a month of snowstorms, then that can mean a really terrible year. And that's not something we can control. So, but we just try and that makes me turn my focus to what I can control within the four walls. And that seems to work.
Have you found that like the pedestrian mall and stuff has ever affected you negatively or?
No, I've actually said from the beginning that I'm happy that the pedestrian mall has been there, and I'm happy to be outside of its footprint also.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think I think creating the pedestrian mall has given people in St. John's and surrounding areas a different way to think about downtown, a different way to interact with it, and that sort of sparked people's imagination in terms of how they can use that city space, which I think is a great thing. But I'm also happy to be up here. I like our Duckworth Street block. I feel like it's
definitely the hippest block in town, I think.
Oh yeah, totally, because of us.
Because of us.
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt. All right. Well, when we come back, we'll chat with Jane about the studio spaces here above Posie Row & Co. at 210 Duckworth Street with his tribute to man's best friend. Here's Damian Follett live on our show a few weeks ago with Just a Dog on the Hulk Caesar Show.
I'm going to do a brand new original song called Just a Dog.
Amazing.
Yeah, tribute to dogs.
Love it.
I got 15 years of friendship. It was 100 years for him. He stood right there by my side. He was there through thick and thin. There was no one else quite like him. There probably won't ever be again. Yeah, I'm sure gonna miss my buddy. It's gonna be hard to find a new friend. But he wasn't just a dog. He was my best friend. He never let me down. Stayed true till the end. I wish I had 100 more and they were all just like him. He wasn't just a dog, he was my best friend. Some folks say just move on, go out and get another one. Yeah, there's plenty down at the shelter. Some are old and some are young. You can even find them online. That's what floats your boat. Before you know it, you forget about him, and those memories are gonna go. But he wasn't just a dog, he was my best friend. He never let me down, stayed true till the end. I wish I had 100 more and they were all just like him. 'Cause he wasn't just a dog, he was my best friend. Yeah, someday when I pass on, I'm over on the other side. I'll be looking for a field or a meadow with a warm breeze blowing by. Coming fast over that horizon, ears flying in the wind. I'll smile when he runs to me, and I see him again. But it wasn't just a dog, he was my best friend. He never let me down, stayed true to the end. I wish I had 100 more and they were all just like him. He wasn't just a dog, he was my best friend. Yeah, I wish I had 100 more and they were all just like him. 'Cause he wasn't just a dog, he was my best friend.
Welcome back to the Hulk Caesar Show, brought to you by the Resource Center for the Arts at the LSPU Hall. We are talking with Jane from Posie Row. Jane, a little while back, Posie Row took over the building next door and expanded with a bunch of retail and studio spaces. Now the building is becoming a hub for local entrepreneurs and artists. How did the idea come about?
So this was an idea of Anita Carroll's, and Anita is still the owner of both buildings here, number 210, number 214 Duckworth. We had been busting at the seams in Posie Row for a really long time. And the building next door, the building we're in now, was for a long time Pollyanna Antiques, owned by Dick Green. And Dick mainly occupied the main floor and sometimes the second floor, I think, as an art gallery space. But the remainder of the building was just filled with stuff, not really in use. It was deteriorating a little bit. And Dick was preparing to sell, and that was a conversation that he and Anita were having for years before it actually happened. When she bought the building from him, the idea was to expand Posie Row into the other part of the main floor and cut out the wall in between, as we've done. But then there was a question about how to use the rest of the building, because it's a beautiful heritage building with this big central staircase that goes right up through. And how could we make use of it without sacrificing the structure and the shape? And because a big part of the motivation was also to do not a renovation, but a restoration. So Anita, did all the right things. She hired Garnet Kindervater, who's a well-known longtime heritage restorer in St. John's. He did all the work, made sure it was done right, and a lot of what's around us, the tin ceilings, the fireplaces, all these things are original and were just put back the way they originally were.
Nice.
I love the tin ceilings in here. It sounds really good, I think, for the
Cool.
music and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes it hard to get a Wi-Fi signal through.
Yeah, I
that was a particular challenge, but, so then the question of how to use the rest of the building was a big question. It came to Anita, I guess it was around the time the Kitty Vitty studios were getting on the go too, and she was thinking, wouldn't it be great to be able to offer a space for small businesses who want to be in the downtown core on the main street, but don't necessarily have the resources to start out with all the overhead that can come with starting a small business street level. And so what if we built a cost that would include your business occupancy tax, your internet, your promotional kind of stuff, all sorts of things, a sort of all-in one price, you know what you're paying. And then you have the added benefit of being in a space that's shared with others, and there's the mutual benefit of supporting each other. And that's what we did. So originally it started out as straight up retail and was filled top to bottom that way.
What was up here, do you remember?
Yes. There was a shop that was selling, the name is escaping me at the moment. It was a couple, and they were really lovely folks. There was a wall up here. This was 2 rooms at the time, and they rented this room. And they had they were doing like kind of rockabilly style clothes, metal band shirts, stuff like that, and like associated merch.
In this little room?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Cool.
But in one of these little rooms, yeah. And a few other odds and ends. There have been so many different businesses that have come and gone throughout the year. Because part of it, part of the model means that if things are going well, a business will outgrow us and need to move along, and need to move into bigger space or street level space.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
So what kind of stuff do you have up here now?
Well, you're here.
We're here, of course. as we like to say, high above Posie Row in downtown St. John's, Newfoundland.
Yeah, I love hearing that. So, of course, all the conversations these days are before COVID and after COVID. And it really is the case that when COVID hit, the retail model, that small retail model, really took a hit. And so since then, the demand has been a mix. There's still some retail, but it's been more for private studios. So, of course, across the hall from you guys is a private print studio. So we've got a local artist with their printing press set up out there.
Cool.
We got to make friends.
Yeah.
Most definitely. And of course, you guys are up here doing your thing. Right now, there are spaces for rent on the third floor. One potentially spoken for, and the other, and both beautiful, arguably the most beautiful
places
spaces in the building. Yeah. And the second floor still houses Dear Dossie and Ritual Botanicals, which is a retail operation. She sells all kinds of beautiful stuff. And
Now they were in one of the spaces here for a long time, and then they went into into the main spot. Is that right?
Well, she went into the second floor. Posie Row was occupying that space, but mostly because it was a thoroughfare for the rest of the building, so that we could fill the room and kind of make sure that people were climbing the stairs and going up through. But as the space has changed more to a private studio usage, the need for that thoroughfare really didn't exist in the same way anymore.
Yeah.
So we were able to rent that space to a different retail enterprise, which made sense because she was kind of on her own on the third floor. So we moved her down, and now we have space open there because the demand for kind of, as I say, closed door spaces, I guess, is higher. And also on the second floor, of course, is Nevermind Studios, which is a collective of tattoo artists and one esthetician as well. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Quite the group we got here.
Yeah. Do you have any big plans to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Posie Row? Like, I have an idea. 30% off for all podcast hosts who work in the building.
He's got something there.
I support that. Good idea. So far, I've ordered a giant cake. So, yes, I do have a plan for a birthday party. Tentatively May 10th and 11th, which also I think happens to be ECMA's weekend and Mother's Day.
Wow.
So it's going to be a, jam-packed weekend. But so far, I've ordered a giant cake. That's really
Cake. What kind of cake?
Oh.
Or is it a surprise?
No, I'll tell you. It's...
Still surprised if it's said on the show, I think.
There's only like 3 flavors anyway. I mean,
So you think, but I was offered like a choice between 4 extremely unusual flavors.
Ooh.
And I asked my kids and some of the staff at the shop, and everybody voted for the flavor that is pink lemonade poppy seed.
whoa.
Wow. I never would have guessed that in a million years.
That is crazy.
So you'll have to make sure you come and try some.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. All right, well, let's see another video recorded live right here above Posie Row in downtown St. John's, Newfoundland. It's James Drover with Autumn Mist Summer Blues on the Hulk Caesar Show.
marching like an army, lay down and fall to all the mist, summer blues. I was yours, I was yours, I was yours, yours. I was enough, was enough, was enough, enough, that was enough. I was yours, I was yours, was yours, I was yours, that was enough, was enough, was enough.
Presented to you by the Resource Center for the Arts at the Ellis Pugh Hall. We're joined on the Hulk Caesar Show by Jane Manuel. Is it Manuel or Manuel?
Manuel.
Yeah, it's spelled Manuel. I don't know why I asked that. Posie Row has always had a strong creative energy. What inspires you creatively these days?
Oh, geez. Tough one. I guess I take in a lot of media. I guess that's what inspires a lot of people. Like, I take in a lot of art. I read a lot. I listen to a lot of music. I have always gravitated that way. So I guess that, and just a general inclination to keep an eye on what people seem to be interested in, what people are wearing, what people seem to be buying, and it's a thing that I didn't know I knew how to do, but I seem to have a bit of a knack for sort of knowing what people will want to buy and what they're willing to pay for.
That's definitely a good quality when you run a store, right?
Yeah. Are you creative in like other ways, other avenues of your life?
I mean, I putter around with, I just took my kids to the reception for the Arts and Letters awards at the Rooms on last Friday night, and I was telling them about all the bad poetry I used to enter into the Arts and Letters when I was 15, and
I heard you brought some of that poetry with you, right?
never.
Let's give it a go.
And I do a little painting here and there and a little bit of this and that. I come from a very creative family, and I don't have nearly the skill level that either of my parents had. So my mom was the executive director at the Craft Council of Newfoundland and Labrador for 33 years. That was her career. And so craft and, making things with your hands or making something out of something that somebody else might be getting rid of or was always very much a thing in my house. My dad was a woodworker for many years and tried to make a living at it. And my mom was always a maker of things. And so that was very much, in the house growing up and part of daily life. So I guess probably it comes from there too.
Now, a lot of folks dream of opening a business downtown. You got any advice for someone who might be thinking about doing that thing? Anybody got any positive advice?
I think Gee, I don't know where you would begin these days, but I think, approaching with confidence, reinvesting constantly in the business, and just rolling everything over and over again, and having a strong stomach. Like, you have to be, you can't be risk averse. You have to be willing to kind of go for it and go all in for it, and take the risk over and over and over, and trust that things will be okay. Try not to look at things from, this one day perspective, trying to keep an eye on the bigger picture, and recognizing that there will be peaks and valleys. One of the nice things about a business that's been on the go for this long is that I bought the business from Anita right after COVID, and you would think that would not be a time when you might feel confident in buying a business with all the uncertainty around. But she had been around through, the 90s recessions and the and lots of ups and downs, and they're just part of the business. So it didn't feel scary because it's just, part of that cycle.
Yeah.
So a tolerance for that, I think, is one of the top things.
And what's COVID again? Sorry.
I know.
Oh, you sweet summer child. All right, well, before we move on to our musical performance, you got anything you'd like to plug?
Oh, geez. Well, I guess a birthday party coming up on May 10th and 11th. While as of now, I've only ordered a giant cake, I also plan to have all kinds of fun giveaways. I actually am thinking about a scavenger hunt for all
A giant scavenger hunt?
A giant scavenger hunt that may incorporate parts of the building and the environs out around the building, and great prizes and
giant prizes.
No, I think smaller size prizes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but a giant scavenger hunt.
And boy, summer's on the way. I think, did you just hear that? We heard our first motorcycle on the show of the year. Amazing. During the summer, we're the motorcycle show.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, let's take a quick break, and then we'll be right back with our musical guest. It's now time for a live musical performance in our Hot for the Moment studios high above Posie Row in downtown St. John's, Newfoundland. Tonight's music is brought to you by our friends at the Resource Center for the Arts at the LSPU Hall. Cole Haley's play is coming up as well. We had Cole on the show a couple months ago. It's going to be a fantastic show, so check that one out as well. Joining us this evening is a multi-instrumental musician who plays everything from the drums to the cello. Not only the bass player for the amazing band Midnight Watch, he just this week released his very own EP, A Face on a Paper Bag, which he wrote and performed the entire thing. Liam Peacock, welcome to the Hulk Caesar Show.
Thank you.
What do you have for us first?
The first song is from the EP, and it's called Same Dark Shadows. All right. If I travel a time zone away, nobody will find me. If I live in a small enough home, nobody will care. If I darken the lights on my door, no one will come knocking. And if I don't answer the door, no one will be there. We both scream at the same dark shadows, it's only their names that change. We both agree that their eyes are watching, so ball up your fists and rage. The shadows will always be strange. If I fight for the money I'm owed, I'll make a new enemy. If I take to the house of the law, they'll join and they'll circle me. If I witness a terrible act, they'll find and they'll follow me. If I explain everything that I know, they'll make me sound crazy. We both scream at the same dark shadows, it's only their names that change. We both agree that their eyes are watching, so ball up your fists and rage. The shadows will always be strange. Hey, dark shadows, you know the lid's off the whole the lids off the whole damn thing. We both scream at the same dark shadows, it's only their names that change. We both agree that their eyes are watching, so ball up your fists and rage. The shadows will always be strange.
So good. That's awesome.
Great, man. Very good.
Thank you.
Liam, you just released your first EP, Face on a Paper Bag. Your first solo EP, I should say, where you did everything, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been recording music on and off for my entire life. It's a thing that Dicky knows intimately, but this is the
Intimately.
yeah, it's an interesting choice of words, I know, but definitely the first chapter of just kind of a new thing that I'm doing, yeah, it's.
How long have you been working on it?
I did most of it in, I think, October and November, and then just sort of hemmed and hawed about what to do next. And my friend Kieran Dooley, who plays lead guitar in Midnight Watch with me, he mixed it, and that took a indeterminate amount of time. And we've got it up on all major streaming services now, and yeah, that's done now. So that was the process.
You mentioned Midnight Watch. You play bass in Midnight Watch.
Yes.
So what's it like taking on a project like A Face on a Paper Bag? Sorry, where you have creative control, like full creative control?
Well, yeah, I mean, it is completely different because, like, on one hand, with Midnight Watch, the plurality of the songs are written by our singer Evan O'Coin,
Friend of the show, Evan O'Coin.
But then I'm also writing and pitching songs as well, and it's meant to fit Evan's voice, not only literally like the sound he makes with his. With
that
his
sounds
mouth.
just like him, actually.
Yeah.
Good impression.
That's my Evan impression. But also, like, figuratively, his voice, his whole deal, and for this, it's just like I don't know what kind of sounds do I want to make, and I mean, in this case, the writing wasn't done like just then. It's kind of a bunch of junk that I had lying around from past RPM projects, things that I just haven't done anything with. Mm-hmm. But we're kind of looking at those songs and saying, man, I really ought to do something with it. And I think now that this EP is out, it's kind of a proof of concept of this is what I sound like, applied to a variety of different songs I wrote, and it's time to write a whole bunch now, and I'm going to do that.
Amazing.
So yeah, but yeah, I think the main thing is just that you're not writing for any one purpose. You're just writing.
Yeah. Because you don't have a goal in mind as when you're writing for somebody else's voice or somebody else's point.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. What do you have for us next?
The next song is called "The Devil in the Driveway."
Ooh. What's the story behind that one?
Sounds scary.
So I had a neighbor who was very hostile, and it just was not nice to anyone she encountered, except for one person. And it is the strangest person I have ever seen. And the thing I need to clarify is that when you see a person and you're like, oh, that person is very strange or unique looking, it usually comes with a built-in explanation. It's like, oh, that's how teenagers are rebelling this week. They're dressing like that. Very interesting. I'm at the mall and I see teenagers. Why not? But this person I have no explanation for at all. I was backing out of my driveway, and my very hostile neighbor was having a very friendly conversation with, the shoulder touches, the relaxed body language, with a guy who was completely hairless and was wearing just to the nines in a black suit on a 35-degree day in July. And like shiny leather shoes, a tie, the whole thing. And in his hand, he had a big clutch of Mr. Freezies. And as I drove away, he finished this conversation he was having and walked down the road, which means that he didn't drive there. He walked to this location in the sweltering heat in this black suit. And I just have zero explanation for this. and the title just comes from joking around with friends. It's like, oh, I just saw the devil, but I don't think it was the devil. I don't think it was anything. Zero explanation. If you or any of your listeners have any alternate theories as to who this person was and what they were doing,
You reach out at hulk@hulkshow.com.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is the song that was written from that experience. Every day you see a stranger, you describe them as strange. From the color of their clothing to the way they show their age. But it's all in the background, a person in their place, acting out their station and putting on their face. I can't figure out what the man in black is doing here. Looks like the devil's in the driveway, coming in the form of a friend. Looks like the devil's in the driveway, coming in the form of a friend. Standing there passing out frozen treats and dressed all wrong for the dog day heat. The devil's in the driveway, coming in the form of a friend. Every day there's a disturbance with the neighbors enraged, with the knocking and the yelling and the conflict she'll engage. Slipping out the back door every time I leave the house, hoping I don't see her, but I can't figure out what the curious figure dressed in black is doing here. Looks like the devil's in the driveway, coming in the form of a friend. Looks like the devil's in the driveway, coming in the form of a friend. Standing there passing out frozen treats and dressed all wrong for the dog day heat. The devil's in the driveway, coming in the form of a friend. He's leaving on foot up the Parkway Drive. The Mercury's moving past 35. The devil's in the driveway, coming in the form of a friend. Looks like the devil's in the driveway, coming in the form of a friend. Looks like the devil's in the driveway, coming in the form of a friend. Standing there passing out frozen treats and just all wrong for the dog day heat. The devil's in the driveway, coming in the form of a friend.
Ooh, I like that one a lot too.
That's cool.
You look like you're having a lot of fun playing too. I like that.
Liam. Oh, I should tell everyone. I'll mention this.
Yeah, please do.
Liam and I go super way back. Liam was in, my very first band was with Liam when we were, I was 13-ish. So going back about 25 years.
Yeah.
It was called Overboard.
Yeah.
And
It was amazing, no doubt.
oh yeah, the best band. We were as popular as like Take That or something. And
Take that. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good reference.
and, and I just watched the Robbie Williams movie. So I thought I should mention that. So that's pretty cool. And he actually played. I got him to play on my debut solo album, Goodnight Nobody. So he's on that.
That was my first recorded bout of cello playing that anyone actually heard.
Amazing.
Right, yeah. And that was the first time we'd recorded on anything in that 25 years, I think.
Yeah. And obviously it had to be cello. You were like, you know who I'm gonna get to play cello is the guy who was playing guitar for me 25 years ago.
And I've never seen play cello.
I bet he's doing some different things now.
Well, yeah, lots of time, right? So.
Yeah, right. But I'm here.
He actually asked me when Overboard broke up. He said, I'm going to need you for cello later, so you've got to start learning now. It's a difficult instrument to master, so get on it.
Well, it's nice of him to give you some time, you know?
Yeah, 20 or so years. But I am announcing right now we are reuniting for our 25th anniversary, opening up for the Killers at Crystal Park. Just letting everyone know.
Get home from Calgary, Aiden.
No, but I will go to the question eventually. Or now. The question, Liam,
yes,
on this card. Do you have any plans to perform your EP live?
Plans, no. General thoughts of, yes. I will be playing in this form with just the guitar and all that at May 3rd at the Down Home Expo.
Nice.
That is the only thing that is currently on my schedule right now because of some travel plans that will cause me to regretfully miss the 30th anniversary of Posie Row. But
we'll save you some cake.
Maybe.
Actually, no. I'm missing it out of spite for losing the piano. But yeah, that's kind of like talking to the drummer of Midnight Watch, because when you're in a band, you ask the drummer to do everything, and as it's like, yeah, we should play that the songs from that EP. It's like, yeah. Will we take action on it? Maybe later. But yeah, it'll happen.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's great.
What's the best way for people to support your EP? Bandcamp, I would think.
Bandcamp definitely is the best, but it's on everywhere you can find music digitally.
Mm-hmm. Any plans to do any sort of physical release?
Again, no plans, but I'm open to it.
Yeah. Cassette tapes are in again now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
I have a 4-track that I think is from 1979. I'd love to do some recording on that, but right now it only plays extremely fast. And I need
well, that's what the kids are into, sped up songs, isn't it?
Although that might actually cause my voice to be really slow if it records really fast. And once you take the tape and put it on something that people actually listen to it, because I don't think kids are into to listening to tapes on 1970s 4-tracks yet.
Yes,
that'll be the next.
It's coming.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks to our friends at the Resource Center for the Arts at the LSPU Hall. We got time for one more song. Liam Peacock, what's it going to be?
It's going to be called My Only Human, and you open this show with a song about a dog. Now we got a song about a cat.
Oh, amazing. We love dogs and cats.
Yes, they're all good boys and good girls. Yeah. All right. Talk to me, darling. I heard you crying in a different room. That's what it sounds like. An emotion that I see in you. And if it's true, you need to be heard and listened to. My only human. My only human. My only human. My only human. The sound of your breathing, like a hum caught inside your throat. Trebly keening, with a slide down to a lower note. I know, I'll hold you until you need to go. My only human. My only human. My only human. My only human. And if I drew a face on a paper bag, would you tear it to shreds and show no mercy? The poor thing's dead. I have some questions, but you never want to answer me. Sometimes I guess them, maybe based on what I want to see. Probably it's what I imagine you to be. My only human. My only human. My only human. My only human.
So good. I know my rule that we don't swear, but I f***ing love music.
I've been doing so good.
I know, eh? All right. Well, Liam Peacock, thank you so much for joining us. Where can folks find you on the interwebs?
On Bandcamp, on Spotify, and all the rest of the major streaming services, and not really anything else.
Excellent. A little bit of mystery. We like that.
Right.
All right. Well, we'll bring in our friend Drew as well. Drew, you want to come join us?
It is now time to play everyone's favorite game of questions. Caesar's casual conversations with tonight's guest, Jane Manuel, and Liam Peacock. We've refilled the commemorative E.T. the Extraterrestrial hat with questions. Choose one and answer it as much as you'd like, or draw another one. Here we go.
All right, Jane, you get to go first.
All right.
Yeah, these are all. This is the second round of 100 questions the AI gave me. So these are second tier AI questions.
Would you rather be able to talk to animals or speak every language?
Ooh, it's an interesting one. What do you think?
Interesting one.
I think I'd rather be able to talk to animals. I think everybody's wondering what animals are thinking.
Pretty amazing. Your song just so wonderfully said.
How about you guys?
What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know. I think maybe I would agree with you, Jane. I feel like sometimes I'm like with my cats and I'm like, if you can talk, do it right now. I'm not going to tell anyone right here, right now. I know you can. So maybe that.
Amazing. This is, we'll introduce, as most people know, Drew Pardy, our studio mate, one half of Hot for the Moment, and our sometime co-host.
Yes.
Liam, what do you think?
I'd actually go the opposite because I'm kind of happy with what I got going with animals.
Yeah.
There's like a lot you can express with like body language, petting them, generally horsing around. Sometimes with actual horses, speaking Cantonese. I don't have that.
You'd be able to speak Latin, I guess. People don't speak Latin, but if you can speak every language, you'd be able to speak Latin.
That's right.
I don't have that. I don't have anything that would be replacing.
Oh, I like it. Dicky?
I mean, I think speaking all the languages would probably benefit you career-wise, getting a job. So I would like to be able to...
Have you seen Dr. Dolittle?
I was going to say Dr. Dolittle.
Well, I would like to speak to animals, but in different languages. Because obviously it's going to be more interesting to talk to a dog in France than it is to talk to a dog in Saskatoon.
Interesting.
Probably. No
That's
offense to our
interesting.
fans in Saskatoon. I know we have a huge
Now, do you think the dogs in Saskatoon and the dogs in France speak different dog languages?
Yeah, I mean, that's my point. Yeah. The France one speaks whatever they speak in French.
Yeah.
And in French.
Whatever French language they speak.
And Saskatoon is, their own language too.
Excellent. Well, I got to go with. I was going to go with the talking to the animals, but this thought of speaking Latin in people's faces all hostily kind of warmed me up to that one.
Fiery, yeah.
All right, Drew.
Okay. Books or audiobooks? Books.
Books.
Yeah.
What's a book you've read recently?
What's a book I read recently? I'm reading The Song of Achilles right now, which is really good. I feel like I haven't been reading a lot of books, but I bring this one. Oh, this sounds like really annoying, but I bring it to the gym when I go on the treadmill, and that's like my book.
It's a good time to read. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I've seen other people do it, and I was like, that's how I get my reading in. I do like audiobooks, and I'll say the most recent audiobook I listened to was oh my gosh, what's her name? Julia Fox's biography. Yeah.
Cool.
And that was like really fun because she read it herself.
Nice. Liam?
Books, I think like more and more as time goes on, I just like want to compartmentalize. Like if I'm holding a book, I'm reading. If I'm not holding a book, I'm I don't run with headphones or put on any sound in the car or anything. Even though
Wow,
I'm like that too. I do that.
Yeah,
you guys are crazy.
I still find that I have time to do all that and listen to the music I want to listen to, read the books I want to read, and just kind of keep everything in its place.
Nice.
What's a book you've read recently?
Right now I'm reading Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. It's kind of a multi-generational story about a Caribbean family, and there's a bunch of different interwoven threads, and really enjoying it.
Nice.
Just finished The Road by Cormac
Ooh.
McCarthy.
Saw that movie in theater. I didn't know what it was going to be about. all I knew was Aragorn was in it.
Yeah. Beautifully written book where very little happens, and I'm just like so impressed when an author manages to pull that off.
Yeah. Awesome. Jane?
Always books.
Yeah.
I tend to listen to a lot of podcasts or music, and I agree with Liam. I think when I'm reading, and it's the physical book is just an object I really like.
Yeah.
And there's that whole sensory thing. And currently, I'm rereading The Adversary by Michael Crummy because it just got that big nomination for, I can't remember which award. But I read it when it first came out, and now I've gone back to reread it. And much like Cormac McCarthy's work, like that, The Adversary came after The Innocents by Michael Crummy, which I had a few false starts with, the same way I did with The Road. I picked it up and went, oh, it's too bleak. And I had to come back a few times before I finished it. But the writing is so tight and so beautiful. Yeah. And I find all of Michael Crummy's writing to be like that. But those two particular books, they're a little hard, but worth it too.
Nice.
Diggy?
Books, I think. Yeah.
Read anything now?
Last night I just finished My Favorite Fart. It's a kid's book. I read to my kids.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the only reading I kind of do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a mix. I got a really high attention span, so I find I have difficult reading a word book. So usually I'll get the book and I'll get the audio book and I'll listen to it, but I'll follow the words on the page as well. That's really the only way I can focus on reading a book is if I'm hearing it and seeing it. So I'm the opposite of you guys, I guess. And recently, what have I read? I don't know. I don't read very much. I read TV Guide, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's see what I get. All right. Cupcakes or donuts?
Ooh, hard-hitting questions.
Oh, that's that is difficult. I'm. Oh, like.
This is hard. Isn't it?
Yeah, that is hard. I'd like. Yeah, I'm gonna say cupcakes because every time I end up getting cupcakes, it's like the best cupcake I've ever had because I tend to get it at like the farmers market and stuff. Well, with donuts, I'm often getting it at Tim's.
Yeah, totally. So you got a higher standard for local cupcakes. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like a great donut is also top tier.
Think about a great donut. You know, there was places in Vancouver that sold like luxury donuts, and they were good, but they're so expensive.
Oh yeah,
you could be like $5, $7, $10 for a donut.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Madness. Dickie?
Cupcakes, because I feel like cupcakes are more of an event than a donut.
True.
I just want to add to your donut thing that you just said. The like best donut I ever had was, you just said Vancouver? Yeah, Vancouver. There was like this, it's like this place, I forget what it's called, but it's donuts and fried chicken. Like, come on.
It's called...
I saw that, I think, on a show called You've Got to Eat Here that I watch all the time.
Yeah, you must have, because you do.
I know the name of the place. I live right down the road from it, but the name of it escapes me
Is it
right
like
now.
something with a unicorn? Why did I think that?
Yeah, it has some kind of weird horse or unicorn or something on the side, I think. Yeah.
That was before I'm gluten-free now.
Oh, yeah.
The place.
So now you eat what, like leaves and stuff?
Yeah.
Jane?
Yeah, I have to agree on cupcakes. I think I sort of missed the bus on gourmet donuts. Like it's still a thing I think of as kind of a Tim Hortons thing or something like that. And a good cupcake is definitely a big event of its own.
I'm not a super cake kind of guy. I like a Boston cream donut. It's probably something I really like.
Yeah, I like coconut cream donut. That's my favorite.
Coconut's gross.
All right, what do we got? Singing in the car or singing in the shower. I definitely do all of my singing and my practicing lyrics and practicing vocals in my car. I do not sing at all in the shower.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Liam?
Yeah, car.
Yeah? So you guys both don't listen to music in the car, but you sing in the car.
I'll see my own stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Drew?
I will agree, car, for sure. You can like scream, sing in the car.
Yeah.
Jane?
Yeah, definitely in the car.
Oh, wow. I can sing in the shower.
I'm surprised by the number of car people.
I got a speaker in the shower and everything, you know, a Bluetooth speaker. I listen to music. I sing along with it, you know, a scrub. Beautiful. Good time. But probably the best 15 minutes of my day. Is everyone gone? Is it just me now?
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at that. All right. What do we got here? I don't know.
Skip.
I often skip questions because, you know, I'm
Find the best one.
All right, here we go. I won't even look at the smallest. Take it. What do we got here? Netflix and chill or go out with friends.
Netflix and chill means sex, doesn't it?
I guess so, but I think we're going to take it as a staying home and watching Netflix.
Oh, okay.
I like my friends, but I don't really like to go out. I like to be at home with my friends, Ross and Rachel, and Monica. I hate friends. That's not true. I hate friends. So I'm more of I don't know if I'm a Netflix and chill kind of guy, but I like to be at home. I'm comfortable at home. So. Yeah. Dickie?
I like. I'm not really social anymore, so I guess I'll go with Netflix and chill. If it's just like chilling by myself, I don't like anything else.
Netflix and chilling by yourself.
Yeah, right. But you can read into that however you want.
Just expanding the euphemism.
Liam?
Going out with friends, definitely, but probably do the other one more, because if I just don't make any decisions over the course of the night, that's what happens. But,
those are I always say my favorite plans are canceled plans. So like if I plan something and they say, "Oh, I can't make it," I'm like, "Oh, that's too bad," but inside I'm like,
yeah. No, we've become that society. It seems like everyone's like that now.
Yeah.
Drew?
I think depends on when you ask me, but right now I'm with friends. So
you're out with friends right now.
I'm out with friends right now.
Jane?
Yeah, probably 10 years ago I would have said the other, but yeah, Netflix and at home.
Yeah.
Definitely
I'm
where
still
at.
confused about which one we're using.
Yeah. we'll let everyone leave that up to their imagination. Amazing. All right. Well, that's about all the time we have for tonight. Jane, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Big thanks to Liam Peacock for his wonderful performance. Thank you so much.
very much.
We got some gifts here for you. We'll get you guys to sign the flyer and we'll put it on the wall after. And then there's one over there for him. These is volume 3 of our zine, which is scenes from my 1996 high school agenda. This one covers when I took a disposable camera to the Avalon Mall in 1995 and told people I worked for the Telegram and took pictures of people working, and then for some reason developed those pictures and put them in my agenda. And here we are 30 years later.
I wish I treated my agenda like you did.
It's amazing. It's like massive.
Oh, I have.
All right. Thanks so much, guys. Next week, we will welcome Dave Rowe from O'Brien's Music, who'll sit down for a chat and also perform live in our Hot for the Moment studios. A big thank you to the Resource Center for the Arts at the LSPU Hall for supporting our show financially. And you got something to say? Hulk@hulkshow.com. For Jane, Liam, Dickie, and myself, I'm the Hulkster. Thanks for watching The Hulk Caesar Show.
Bye-bye.